Hey, what's up, guys? This is another episode of Off the Post, and I'm your host, DJ Redcap. As you can see, we've had an exciting game yesterday. It was a game that I predicted the score wrong. I'm willing, well, not willing to admit that, even though I did. And some people did predict the score right, as I did ask them on Facebook and stuff. But let's first talk to the panel and see how they've been doing, and then we'll talk about the game, and we'll wait for one of our panelists who's going to be here. She's a surprise panelist, a special guest almost, so to speak, now since she's coming in late. That's the lie we'll tell you, so believe it, please. Thank you. All right, let's start with Karen and see how she's been doing.
Good, pretty good. Really good after that game yesterday, but really good, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all in high spirits after that game. Jen and Carl, how are you doing?
Good. Cold. Really cold. But good, especially after that Sky Blue announcement earlier. I'm like bouncing off the walls over here.
Yes, it seems like everyone was happy. I was happy, too.
I was happy, too.
I'm so calm and collected. Everyone was jumping off the wall, and I was just like, yeah, all right, let's go. And Jake, what have you been up to lately, man?
Not much. Just enjoying the game yesterday, and I'm excited to be here for my first show.
Ah, yes. As everyone remembers, Jake did his OP as his intro, and you guys got to learn a little bit about him. I still love that opinion piece if you haven't got to see it. Because I thought it was just so much good information that people weren't ever talking about. I still haven't seen anyone really talk about it. Maybe once, I think, on one of the groups, but that's something that I think a lot more people should talk about. You know, get your mind off those other things you're always on. As you know, if you want to talk to us, you can use the hashtag #WoSoTalk, or you can post on one of the things we have posted on Facebook talking about watch the show, which we beg you to do sometimes, and usually some of you do, so I'm happy about that. So shall we get started with, I guess we are talking about our predictions and expectations going into this game. We will start with you first, Jake, because men first, as always. Jake, what are your expectations? Hey now, look at those faces now. What are your expectations going into this game, Jake?
Well, I was, unlike everyone else in the last video, I was actually a little bit more cautious going into the game. I had kind of pegged Costa Rica as our number 2 in the group, and because it was the first game, I thought they would be much more sound defensively. And I thought one of the keys to the game for the U.S. would be to score early, keep a high tempo, not let them settle into a rhythm. And I mean, 12 seconds in, I mean they accomplished that goal very easily. So, you know, I was excited just to see them in a competitive game again. I thought that the lineup was about what I expected. I thought it would be pretty similar to the World Cup final, and obviously they just plugged in the 2 pieces for Rapinoe and Holiday with Haran and Dunn, which I think are 2 great moves, younger, a little bit more dynamic, and I think everything kind of worked well, and the game plan really played out pretty well. So.
All right. Jen Carl, were you looking for anything from players, any expectations, or anyone you were looking for in particular in that game to stand out?
Yeah, actually, but not on our side. You know, I've gotten used to our national team kind of being a well-oiled machine, but I was expecting something from Raquel Rodriguez over on Costa Rica's side. I think had she gotten more touches on the ball, we may have seen a little bit of a different outcome. I'm not sure it would have been a shutout had she gotten her feet on the ball. But the U.S. did a really good job of shutting that down. So good for our side and not so good for their side.
And Karen, what were your expectations leading into this one?
I was expecting us to win, obviously. But I think I predicted 4-0, and it ended up being 5-0. I thought Costa Rica was going to at least have a little bit better of a defense. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about parking the bus. I thought that they were going to do that. And then actually be a little bit more successful with it, but they weren't. And I also expected Alex Morgan to make her mark on the game, and I think she really did that. I think Danielle and I in the last episode said that we wanted Alex Morgan to score the first goal, and 12 seconds went by, and she did, and I was like, cha-ching! It was awesome. I expected to see McCaffrey, and I didn't, and I'm not like disappointed or anything, but she was somebody that I was looking for in the game. It
There
ended
she is.
Oh, hey!
Hi guys.
Hey.
It ended up being Haran instead of Mewis. I thought Mewis was going to be in there. But yeah, I expected US to win. I didn't expect it to be such a well-oiled machine, like Jen said. I mean, they were on top of it everywhere on the field. It was super impressive. So, I mean, they went above and beyond what I expected them to do, which is really, really encouraging for the Olympics. So I'm excited.
All right, and I guess we should introduce another new panelist. We have two newbies on the same show. Isn't this exciting, right? I guess you can tell them who you are, what you like to eat, and some places you like to go sometimes on Friday nights, Kim. All right, Kim, introduce yourself a bit, Kim. Huh?
I'm Kim, and I like to eat food. Any food. Any food. Most of it.
Wonderfully with everybody here.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what I like to do. I work all the time, so I don't have a social life anymore.
And I guess you could tell them a quick thing about how we ended up meeting you, and how did you end up finding us, huh?
I ended up finding you guys through one of the Facebook fan groups, and we met through a contest that I won, and we actually met at the Red Stars Spirit game last year.
So see, people, when we throw contests, I tell you to actually give it a chance because we actually do give away stuff. I'm not lying to you to get you to watch, except sometimes I am, about 50% of the time. But the other 50% of the time, I will give you something free.
And they were sweet seats, too.
I know. Weren't there good seats, too? See, people, I'm telling you. See, listen to that girl. I didn't pay her to say that. Yes, I did. So, all right, Kim, what were your expectations going into that game? Like, what were you looking forward to? What did you want the team to do or something? Like anything like that?
This game yesterday?
Yeah, like did you have any expectations of like you want to see chemistry or a good starting lineup?
Yeah, I wanted to see because I know we have a lot of newer players on the team, so I just wanted to see them vibe together and kind of the team to work together, and turns out they did.
I can agree with that. It did like vibe actually rather quickly, like you said. I think even like you were saying, Karen. Thing was, I got to call it that lineup when I was doing my own lineup personally. I knew they would put those in there, which was I feel like this is going to be a lineup we're going to see going forward, trying to play it for chemistry, unless someone just really just bombs out and doesn't do good. Back line was what I thought. The Brian Horan was what I thought. The front was what I thought for the most part too. So I think this is we're going to see this going forward for the most part. It's just a matter of them constantly playing together and getting more comfortable, which was shockingly yesterday. It looks like they were pretty comfortable, so we can't complain, even though it's Costa Rica. So I'll calm down. I'll calm down for you all. But still, it was actually a really good performance. I mean, a good performance is a good performance, so you can't beat that. So I guess we'll do a little bit of review of first half, second half, and just who stood out to us, all that good stuff, yada yada yada, and we'll take it from there. I will go back to Jake. Sorry, ladies. What were your thoughts on the first half, Jake?
Well, the first half, you can really kind of break it down into two halves, I guess. For the first 15 minutes, we were playing a certain way. We were doing that extreme high press. When we were getting the ball, Julie Johnson would get the ball, and she would look long for Carli Lloyd and Alex Morgan. We were trying to get the ball into dangerous places where we could push them high and look for key turnovers so that we would have the ball in a dangerous position. It wasn't so much about possession. It was more about winning the ball back in a dangerous spot and forcing Costa Rica to be on the back foot. The three goals, they weren't built off of possession. They were built off of set pieces. I mean, the first goal was off the kickoff, which Alex Morgan admitted at the end of the game that was something that they worked on in training. And then the other two goals were really built off of throw-ins from deep positions. There was some combination play off the right side, and Dunn got into space and could explode and led to a foul. Whether or not it was in the box, without Dunn getting combination play, we're not in that situation. So that was the PK. And then the third goal, again, off of deep throw on the opposite side, they get into Haran. She has a low shot that's parried into Dunn's path, and she bundles it in. So at that point, the U.S. was able to sit back a little bit. I mean, at 3-0, it's not as threatening as it could be. So they're still pressing high. They're still swarming the middle. They're really trying to cut off access to Rodriguez and Shirley Cruz, who are, the class players of Costa Rica. And their center backs were trying to find them, but every time they would get the ball up the middle, they'd be closed down by 3-4 players from the U.S. And that was really something that Carli Lloyd and Alex Morgan set the tone. They would go, and then everyone would follow and really swarm. So that was the first 15 minutes. After that, Julie Johnston and others, Morgan Bryan, they were looking for more safe passes and keeping possession. Instead of playing those longer balls to Carli Lloyd and Alex Morgan, they were looking to combine up the wing. Julie was looking to Krieger instead and playing it up to Dunn at that point. So it was just at 3-0, it's a completely different game. And so Costa Rica at that point is just sitting back, really trying not to concede more. So.
All right, Jen. Well, thank you for that first half breakdown. Jen Carl, what about your thoughts on the second half a bit?
Second half for me was interesting because we saw the subs come in, obviously. So we saw a little bit of that combination play for a little while there. We had still that combination for a little bit of Dunn and Krieger on the right flank, which I love. I love that. And it might just be because I'm a very highly biased Spirit fan. But I just love seeing the two of them over on that right flank. And, as unfortunate as it is to have Rapinoe out, with Rapinoe out and, Haran and Morgan Bryan kind of taking up the middle, it frees up Tobin Heath to be in her natural position on the left flank. And she kills it over there. And we saw that more in the second half. She was able to push forward a little bit more. She was able to execute a couple more passes. We had not only combination play between, her and the forwards, but her and the other midfielders, her and the defenders, which was nice to see. It was nice to see her flair be able to come into the game a little bit more because she was able to push forward a little bit more. The other thing I thought was really interesting in the second half was the switch to a 3-back. That's not something we normally do. We normally stick to that 4-back that we know works super well. It carried us through the whole World Cup. But Jill Ellis was confident enough in the players and in the combinations that they were executing to be able to switch to a 3-back, and that was awesome. That was such a great thing to see because I think it made them more confident as well. Of course, we can talk about that goal from Christen Press, that little cheeky back heel that she shot in there, which I might add was a ball delivered by Tobin Heath. Just gonna throw that in there. And then Alex Morgan, her second goal, which came in the second half, another ball that, I got to give credit to the assist there. That was a beautiful ball in. It hit her head right where she needed it to. Excellent deflection right into the goal. But Carli Lloyd could not have delivered a more perfect ball on that. That was absolutely gorgeous. It was just a well-executed goal, and I loved it. So it was nice to see those fresh legs come in because, like Jake said, the first 15 minutes or so of the first half, we really put our foot on the gas and went for it and started pressuring, got up high, all of that good stuff. And once we got those fresh legs in there, once we got the subs in, we kind of saw the same thing coming back. We started to put the pressure on again, and Costa Rica ended up conceding 5 goals, which is going to hurt them, I think, because it might come down to goal differential for them in the group.
All right, thank you. And the thing is, it's funny about that you mentioned the formation things, because I was just thinking about that myself. I feel like this is a team that really could play any formation. You got enough talent to play almost any formation you want to, so it's good to actually see her changing it up and experimenting a bit, because you have the talent out. You definitely have the talent. So you could go 3 in the back. Heck, you probably go 1 in the back if you felt like it one day. You're really feeling dirty, Jill. But, seriously, though, she really could play. There's so many different formations. Like, when they finally went to the 4-2-3-1, I was excited because I was like, you have the players for that. You can play that formation. Even though a lot of people were having issues with the whole CDM thing. Don't get me started with that. I'm not going to. You can OP that all you want if you want to. But overall, I feel like we have enough talent where we should be able to shift formations and plug players into most spots and usually be successful. But so I was glad to see that switch with the 3 in the back. Karen, which player stood out to you?
Really good question. Honestly, Mallory Pugh, she was only in for a little bit, but she definitely stood out. And I think for the entire game, the theme was adaptability. The team showed that they are capable of adapting to just about any formation, to any player being subbed in, whether they're 17 years old or older than that. But Pugh, I think she's only had 2 caps, and both of her caps she's played in 2 different positions. And she totally played both of those positions really well. She played up top in the Ireland game, and she was really good. She scored a goal on her first cap. And then her second cap, she was playing flank midfielder, and she was really good in that position as well. There was a part in the game where she was going against 2 Costa Rican defenders, and she went right at them. She didn't even blink. She charged at them, and then she did the cut, and then she actually tried to take a shot on her own. This girl is 17 years old, and it's amazing that at this high level in such a big tournament, she's still showing up, and she's not showing any kind of like timidity, or she doesn't even look like she's a youth player. So she's incredibly impressive, and I actually thought that Alex Morgan was really impressive through that whole game. I know there are a lot of people that were calling for Press to be subbed in earlier and to take Morgan off of the field, but I think Alex Morgan getting 90 minutes and being fit for those 90 minutes is a huge, 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 huge big deal for the team. And the fact that she got 2 goals. Yeah, her second goal was a really amazing assist from Lloyd, as was the first one. But the fact that she's in those positions, getting those balls, she was making amazing runs. And I think Jill Ellis has been talking about trying to switch it up so that we're not doing as many flank plays, as many like corner kicks and free kicks, just moving through the center of the field and getting goals that way. And I think having Alex Morgan up there and having people like Carli and Haran and Brian moving the ball through the middle towards people like Press, like Alex Morgan, they prove that they are capable of doing that now with the lineup that they've got, and with some of the bench players as well. And so I think Morgan, Pugh were really, really good. I thought actually both Haran and Brian were really, really good. A lot of people weren't really talking about them because they're kind of just in the middle there doing a lot of the work. But I thought that they were really good. Their movement was good. The way that they worked together was really good. They freed up Tobin and Carli and Dunn to go forward, which was really awesome. So I thought that they had a really, really good game. And also, small shout out to Hope, because she only really had to do one thing. And what she did was really, really good. If you watch her footwork in that free kick, it was really impressive. Because, I mean, that was a really good free kick, honestly. And Hope makes things look easy, but I think in a lesser goalkeeper was in that position, they probably wouldn't have made it look that easy. So props to Hope for that one. But yeah, I think those are probably the players that stood out the most for me.
Sounds good.
I have a fun fact. I kept track of the touches that Hope Solo made during the game, and she had 6 all game.
All right.
She had 2 catches off of free kicks in the first half, and then second half all were back passes from either Becky Sauerbrunn or Klingenberg, just clean it up.
Jeez.
So she had like 0 work the entire game.
Yeah, and the fact that she never really has that much work, well, not never, but when she has these games where she doesn't have to work as hard, and then you get one, like, really crazy chance, and she's still there for that. Like, she's still, like, totally in focus. And I remember when I played goalkeeper, I was back there, like, making stuff out of flowers. Like, I was not focused whatsoever. So, obviously, I was not a professional, but the fact that Hope is still able to keep that like level of focus and professionalism to make the big saves when there's only like one that she has to do is really impressive.
Yeah, I have to agree with that because I know I'd be daydreaming back there if I was waiting for some type of action. I know, or just sitting down and probably taking a nap for most of the time. That has to be rough, though. Like playing against most of the games you've probably played in your career in the national team level, just nothing happens, or whatever. You're just sitting back there waiting for something, and then when it does happen, you just have to be ready to go. So that's a true, I guess, example of someone that is a pro right there. But I guess so. Overall, we can say really the overall review of the game is we were all pretty much appreciative. I'm sorry, my mind's somewhere else. We were all happy with how the team performed. There's not many points where we can pick at it unless we really wanted to pick at somebody. I'm not going to try to. Anytime you win like that, it was a good performance overall. Dominated like we expected for the most part, and like I said, I don't think we could be negative until I'm not really going to be negative positive until we play in the tournament that I will not say the name of. The She Believes tournament. I'm not even going to get into that name. That's OP for another time. I'm pushing those things because I'm really going to do something with a couple of these things. She Believes tournament. But other than that, I mean, it's positive result, positive play, amazing goals by Preston, and Alex Morgan scoring the fastest goal in U.S. history. What can we complain about? So let's actually look forward to the Mexico game. This is where it's your time to shine, young Kim. What are you looking forward to?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been quiet this entire time. Like I'm trying to be quiet on my bed, like picking up my laptop to make sure that I can catch up on what you guys are talking about.
No!
So I guess that's that for Kim. Jen Carl, what are you looking for? What are you looking forward to at the Mexico game?
Actually, probably kind of a repeat of Costa Rica almost. Mexico, they have some very dynamic players, and they do work well as a unit. But nothing against you guys, Mexico. Sorry. I expect it to be another beatdown. I really do.
Beatdown special. Oh boy.
Yeah, maybe I'll give them like one less. Like I'll give them like 4-0. But yeah, I don't. With as well as we're playing, and the fact that Jill Ellis, who would not change a dang thing for the longest friggin' time, is all of a sudden like, oh yeah, we're just gonna switch to a 3-back with how much time left in the game? That's fine. The fact that she's confident enough to make moves like that and to experiment with the dynamics and to experiment with different players and, yeah, let's throw in a 17-year-old. No big deal. Oh, great. Okay, let's see. Hinkle, go ahead. You go back that way. That's fine. You guys haven't played in a while. It's cool. Whatever. The fact that she is so confident when she wouldn't change anything for so long kind of makes me more confident as well. And just seeing how they've been playing and seeing them play more centrally and be able to really, I mean, most of their passes last night, very, very few were more than one touch. They had a lot of one-touch passes, which is something we haven't seen in a while. So that was definitely a good thing to see. The team is just looking good. So, I expect another beatdown. I really do. I expect maybe a little bit more experimentation. Seeing who we can get up top. I think we've kind of figured out our midfield up to this point. That could change with the introduction of other players, Megan Rapinoe coming back, whatever. But I think we've got a very solid midfield. I think we've got a very solid defense. I think Jill Ellis is still looking for dynamic, explosive players that she can put up top. So I wouldn't be shocked to see, Christen Press rotate in and out of there, Alex Morgan rotate in and out of there, Mallory Pugh, Crystal Dunn, just to see where she can get the best combination up there. And, maybe she'll surprise us and throw a 3-back back there and put 3 up top and, all right, let's do it and see what we can come up with. So I expect to see a little bit of that in the Mexico game, which is why I'm giving it like a 4-0. But yeah, it's gonna be brutal. It's not gonna be pleasant. So
who's your first goal scorer? Who's scoring the first goal? I always love asking that.
Hope Solo.
All right. I'm holding you to that. Nope, you're done. Yep, thank you. Hope Solo.
No. I'm going Carli. I'm gonna say Carli Lloyd. As much as I'd love to see a Tobin Heath goal because I haven't seen one since the World Cup final, I'm gonna go Carli.
All right, let's get to Kim before she disconnects. Kim, what are you looking forward to at the Mexico game?
The Mexico game, I'm looking forward to all these young players playing. I keep on talking about the young players, but having that young team and having all these young players with amazing talent, that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to.
I can agree with that because that's the one thing I've been pulling for. What young player do you think is going to make the biggest impact out there, probably in this Mexico game? Hopefully,
Oh goodness, I'm gonna say Pugh.
Pugh. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Okay, I agree with that because the thing is, I want to see Pugh just scoring goals. I mean, heck, if you got a young goal scorer at 17 like that, imagine what she's going to be when she's 22. Hopefully,
Oh,
or
totally.
24. Right. So I agree with you with that. Pugh definitely. How about Sonnet? Would you like to see her play any or?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just these young players, but I just want to see them all. I just want to see every single young player on there. I want to see it all because yeah, the old players they're good. Like the vets, they're good. They've proved their spot. But it's
Yeah.
these young people right before the Olympics that I want to see.
Yeah,
That
that's
prove
true.
their spot.
That's the thing too. I agree with you like 100% with that because this is the best time to play them and let's see what we got because I mean against these teams they're gonna walk over them anyway. So let's see what we have now in these young players. I 100% agree with that, Miss Kimmy. Now, Kimmy, you have to give us a score and you have to tell us who's going to be the first goal scorer of the game. So what will be the score of this game?
I'm gonna say 3-1, and
Mm-hmm.
the first goal scorer of the game, I'm gonna go with Carli Lloyd as well.
Okay, all right. Now it's your turn, Jake.
I was surprised that it was so low, and we actually conceded a goal. I mean, I don't know. I'm seeing this one even another 5. Another 5.
Ooh.
Just to be different, I'll go with a Crystal Dunn goal.
Oh man, I was about to choose that. So I'm gonna change. You can have her. You can have her.
And I was also gonna say, I think with the short tournament, I think that they're gonna continue to have a consistent lineup for this Mexico game, and then they're really gonna switch it up for the Puerto Rico game. So I kind of see this one as a continuation as a lineup. Maybe Keith or Morgan might be dropped since they went the full 90 in the last game, but
yeah.
Get your 2 wins out of the way. You're going to beat Puerto Rico with your reserve players. So I kind of see it as a more stable lineup, and we're not going to see quite as many young players. But maybe I am wrong. But
yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what she might do, to be honest. Like we might or we might not. So it's really a toss-up. I don't know. She's really being unique this year. I guess when you win a Coach of the Year and you win a World Cup, you start feeling like you can do whatever you want. So I mean, we could see a stable lineup, or we could see a ton of young players. It's really up in the air, I guess. But yeah, I was gonna choose Crystal Dunn, man. Great minds think alike. Karen, give me a score and give me a goal scorer and tell me what you think.
I watched the whole Mexico versus Puerto Rico game, and it was 6-0, so credit to Mexico, but I think one of the commentators said it. They did what they had to move on, but I saw a lot of problems that I don't think that coach is capable of fixing because he probably doesn't care enough to. So I'm assuming that we're probably going to run over Mexico. I'm going to go with 5 as well. And I'll give them 1 point. So like 5-1, I would say, for the Mexico game. 5-1. As far as who scores the first goal, I'm going to go with Alex Morgan again because I really want her to start scoring goals and being that powerhouse that she was a couple of years ago before all of her flurry of injuries. So I'm going to go with Alex again. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be awesome.
Sounds good. Well, since everyone's going with pretty much the same goal scorers, minus Jake, he chose the one I was going to choose. I have to change it up now. The game will be 6-0, and Morgan Bryan will score the first goal. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm leaving it at that. Just drop the mic, leaving it right there. Just give the most random goal scorer.
I was going to say I was going to change my mind. I was going to change my mind and do, just to throw this out there in left field, I'm going to say Kelly O'Hara. I have hope.
All right.
I'm good with that.
All right, then. Well,
I was going to say, DJ, I thought Morgan Bryan was the player of the game last match.
Did you? Yeah.
Because, I mean, her usage was, the highest on the team, I think. She kept everything flowing. She was moving the ball around. She was all over the
Taking corners too. I wasn't expecting to see that.
Nice corner kicks. You know, she was all over the place, and I mean, her play I think was the reason why we won. So
yeah,
I really want to see a chart of like where she was on the field because
yeah.
I must have covered every single inch of that field.
Yeah.
I mean, she's pretty much going to be like, I'd even say now it looks like she's going to be just a box-to-box midfielder. She's going to be ridiculous how they're developing her, man, so quickly, too. She's such a talent. It's amazing to watch. Like I said, and like I like that she's taking corners and, like I said, just was back and forth everywhere. So, oh, man, to me, she's such a talent, too. Like, even watching her for Houston, you could see, like, when she dropped into that team, it was like, wow, she's a real pro. She's like one of the best players already in the league, just hadn't played a game yet as a pro. So it's amazing to watch her develop constantly. So.
And it's funny, too, because Holiday retired, and everybody was like, oh, no. But I was like, Morgan Bryan. We still have Morgan Bryan, guys. And look at her. I mean, she's picking it up. Her and Haran and McCaffrey and all the other people in there in the U.S., they're picking it up. I mean, I don't even miss Holiday really now. I mean, obviously, as a person, she's great. But, like, on the pitch, they're really picking it up. It's awesome.
Yeah, Brian's got that confidence now. It's like I remember when she first came in, it was kind of like timid, picking her spots. Now she's like, whatever, I'm a boss. I can do it. I'm good. Now this is my midfield, and that's what you want out of those type of midfielders. It's her show. But I think that's everything, guys. Any news or stories you'd like to mention? Raise your hand, please. Not calling you like the teacher does.
Jen, do it. Jen.
What? What am I doing?
Sky Blue.
Some news.
Oh, I was like, wait, I have two things. Which one are you referencing? First, I promised Jackie I would do a shout-out. So Jackie, I think, is maybe possibly going to do an OP on Saturday, so watch for that. But she's been, like, crunching numbers and stuff. So pay attention. She's very opinionated about Christen Press. So watch for that. There you go, Jackie. Second, Natasha Kai! Natasha Kai is back. She's playing for Sky Blue. I'm so excited. I'm actually going to buy a Sky Blue jersey. I'm stoked. Kimmy is obviously a little bit less stoked. But I'm excited. Okay, she's back. There we go. I'm so pumped. I'm so ready for this season. This is going to be amazing.
I remember being like a little kid. I don't know if I was a little kid, maybe like a young teen, and going to see the U.S. women's national team. And there were like just all of these like beautiful, wonderful like white girls on the team, right? And then Natasha Kai would get subbed onto the field, and she was like hitting stuff and like kicking like the grass up. And she was like roaring and like pounding her chest, and she had all these tattoos. And my mom was like, "Oh my gosh!" And my sister and I were just like, "She's amazing!" And I just remember she was just a powerhouse all the time. She was just like full of like passion, and I'm so excited that she's on Sky Blue because they need some things. They need a little sugar, because all they've been getting has been like super bitter and people leaving the team. So this is really good news. And I'm really excited to watch that team play now. Her and Kelly O'Hara, it's going to be awesome.
People are so worried about her coming back after, like, being out of the professional game for so long. But, like, she's had training academies. She's done so much stuff to keep herself active and keep herself fit. And she looks good. Like, she's ready to go. She's ready to get out there and start kicking the crap out of people and call it a day.
She's got extra tattoos, too. So watch out. Badass coming.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you for that news. Shout out to Cloud9 as always. We'll be seeing you soon this year. Anything else? Is that everything? We're all good. Everyone's still excited. It looks like the smile. I guess we can grill the new people real quick. So, how did you think you did, Kimmy? Yeah. What was your first show like? Yes. Yes.
It was pretty good. I mean, my internet kind of sucks, and I got disconnected a lot, but. For my first show, I think it went pretty smooth, other than, the internet thing.
Yeah, don't worry. We've had, like, worse internet problems before. I can say I've had, well, not really internet. Mine's usually webcam problems. So you did good. You did good, young lady. Jake Mercer, how did you do?
I thought I did pretty well.
Everyone's breaking down themselves.
I did awesome.
Yeah, I took, like, 4 pages of notes on the game, so, I felt like I was prepared. And
no, that's fine. Yeah, you better come
I'm more excited to come back and discuss some more competitive games. This was kind of a blowout, so it's hard to really dissect the game when there's so much positive going on. You know, there's not really a chance to really tweak anyone's performances. You know, everything was good.
Right.
There's not really anything to say to the contrary. So.
That's why it was kind of one of those things where I was like, "Oh, this show's going to be exciting. There's not much we can really break down the negative, so I guess I'll just let everyone go and say positive stuff and then smile about the victory." So I think we did that. All right. Well, I guess I'll wrap up the show, and then I guess like Jen Carl was saying, look out for random OP. Jen Carl has an OP out. That Spirit fan, a.k.a. the most popular girl in this show, has an OP out, so definitely check hers. People love you, Jen Carl, you know it, because they watched you more than they watched the show sometimes. So definitely check out her opinion piece. She touched on many things. I saw there in their comments about Barbies even, so I guess I'll check that out since I'm a fan of Barbie. Other than that, I'm your host, DJ Red. This is another episode of Off the Post. You will be seeing us, I believe it's Valentine's Day next time you'll be seeing us. So you'll see the lonely people in that episode, definitely. So definitely check us out there, and we'll all be crying and stuff. No take for us. And then we'll just discuss the game because it's going to be an exciting blow-up to watch as always, and we'll take it from there. And then watch for OPC. I think I'm even doing one on Sky Blue. I believe I'm doing it this weekend.
Ooh.
On this weekend. I'll probably do it in the morning. So check that out too. It'll be a drunken off the post episode. All right, guys. You got old people teach the new people what we do to leave episodes.
We wave.
Woo. You know that wave. Yeah, that's the way I like it. Do that wave. You do that wave good, don't you know? All right, guys. See you later. Bye.